What is up, YouTube? Just got back from a walk with my dog. I'm super cold, but I've just been thinking for the last hour about Plato's Cave and the adaptation to the modern world and whatnot. And here's what I think. It might be a little controversial, but I think the cave is a good thing. If we were all born enlightened, if we were all super, right, then nobody can be a hero. Nobody can actually go back into the cave and save others. And so I don't think the cave is something that is forced. I think it's quite unannounced, to be honest. It's not, I mean, obviously, when I make my kind of point about what the cave even is, um, you could say it's enforced and you can say it's prescribed to people, but no matter what, there will always be a cave. And what is the cave? Well, I believe that the cave is, I mean, in today's world, the cave is a two garage door house with a nice open living room, a comfy sofa, and a big flat screen TV. I feel like, I mean, obviously the cave kind of changes per generation. Maybe in the 50s the TV was a bit smaller and then it got bigger, and then now at our generation our TV is our phone or our laptops, right? But ultimately, no matter what year or what generation you are in or you will be in, the cave will always have the same dynamics, the same rules, the same regulations. And so, but it's just more what does our cave look like? Because that's how you, I guess, the first you kind of have to pinpoint the problem to find the solution. So if the cave is comfort, right? If that's our cave that has been prescribed to us since 1945, after World War II, if it was comfort, right? What we're experiencing right now is that our cave no longer works. Our cave is no longer serving us, and we can no longer actually be in comfort and for it to just work out anymore. Um, I think I don't know what book it's from, but there's a book which is a prediction on Western society or Western civilization, and it's about four different quarters. And the first quarter, which was 1945 to 1970, was the boomers, right? They the economy was booming. They created the cave, right? They created our cave that we still exist in now. And so it's boom. That's the birth of this cave, right? Modernity. Call it, yeah, the two door garage car, whatever house like that. The white picket fence. The nuclear family, right? And then the next one was from 1970 to 1995 or 1994, I'd want to say. And that was until the internet. That was kind of a stable point where things are up and down, but there's not too much change. It's still pretty consistent. It was just pretty much what the 70s and 60s and 50s were but just a little more less new, right? Because when you think of the 40s, 50s, 60s, you think of everything that was brand new. You think of Andy Warhol, or you think of the Beatles, you think of Elvis Presley, you think of Marilyn Monroe. The reason why they're so um revered in today's society is because they were the first to do whatever they did. And because our society is still in tune with that, even though it's not like functioning as well, even though we still have the same kind of ideals and perspectives as the people did back then, we still fancy those people to a great degree. Anyways, 1995, I'd say, like, roughly, whatever, 25 years. It's like a 25 year, like, each quarter, like, literally 25 years. The internet became used by the masses and it became very popular, right? So that kind of launches us into this, like, digital age. Like, I mean, we've lived in an electronic age where electronics and, like, technology was booming, like, that's obvious, but this, like, became digital, like a new world, like a portal. Like, your laptop, your phone was a portal to a different dimension, a different reality, a digital world. And so from 1995 to about 2020, a perfect 25 years again, until COVID hits, right? That's another change. So it's like 25 years of this digital world of learning how to use it and existing within the digital world. COVID happens, and then now this is the decline, right? I mean, you could say the middle, like the midpoint, like 1995, right? You could say that was the midpoint. And what does everybody say? We peaked in the 90s. And it's like, that kind of makes sense, It's like we maybe actually did. I think not we maybe actually did. We did peak in the 90s. And according to this, theory of the quarters, then yeah, we fucking did peak in the 90s. So we peaked and then we were like kind of declining, but it wasn't that bad. And then 2020, big decline. Like you know how people say like you take steroids and then the next morning you wake up and you're like a superhuman and it just like it's overnight? That's literally what it was. It was like within 2 months of TikTok and COVID, it just changed. Everything changed. And so also in the allegory of the cave, by the way, everything that happens in the cave is shaped by entertainment. It is all shaped by what um is entertaining, what gives you dopamine and what gives you those quick hits and what's going to keep you um conversing with other people about these things, right? So it doesn't fucking matter about like the job market. It doesn't matter about what type of jobs are trending, the uh the universities you're going to. Like nothing fucking matters but the entertainment. It's pretty weird that entertainment is like not even a question. Like if you say, "Oh, I want to pursue entertainment," right? Like when I was telling people, "Oh, I'm going to go to film school," I got a lot of negative backlash because it's like, really, you're going to try to pursue entertainment, but you realize that the world is run on entertainment. The entertainment is the only thing that fucking matters. It's entertainment, and it's like what happens after entertainment. It's the reaction to the entertainment. That's all it is. And so, um, yeah, like all this other shit about like, oh, I want to be a blue collar, oh, I want to be white collar, I want to be in finance, like all that shit, like that's all pretty much made up based on the entertainment. The entertainment creates those jobs for people. So, like it's a weird system once you've figured it out, or once you've not figured it out but noticed it and like really see the connections in real life to the cave. Anyways, 2020, we're in this fourth quarter now. We're in this decline, right? And the cave that was set up in 1945 after World War II is coming to an end. This cave, I don't mean the cave in general, as in the cave will never exist ever again, because it probably will. But the norm, which is the cave, the system, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because not everybody wants to be enlightened, right? So, and that's the thing. The cave is a choice. You can choose to stay in the cave. It's really up to the person. So there's nothing keeping you in that cave, right? It is only ignorance. So That's the beauty of the cave, is that it's not an evil thing. It is just a thing. It's neutral. But the thing is that each cave, or each generational, or each cave that serves, let's say, for 100 years time or something, like, let's say like 4 generations, right? Like, this cave is coming to an end. We are in the decline. This cave will be destroyed, no matter what. This cave of, like, the house I mentioned, like the flat screen TV, this cave of comfort will be destroyed within the next 20 years or so. And you can hear the word destroy and you can get scared by it, or you can hear the word destroy and you can get motivated by it. Because when anything is destroyed, when anything is removed, there's always something that is put into play to replace it. So you hear destroy and I hear rebuild. And that's not some like schizo conspiracy theory. That is the truth. With every bad thing comes a good thing. What will this bad thing be? And so when you think of, well, what is the cave? If the cave is being destroyed, and our cave is the house, the comfortable couch, the TV with um, unlimited shadows, unlimited pieces of entertainment that keeps us busy. Well, the entertainment might not stop. The shadows might not stop. That might always be there. But the actual wall of the cave, right? The fire in the cave. All these things that are not the people and aren't the figurines. But the things that actually house those figurines, the things that house the fire, that will be destroyed. And eventually it will be rebuilt in a different way. The fire, the fire is the plug into the wall. It is the electricity. It is the thing that gives these figures life. It is the actual, like, TV itself, right? The wall is the internet. I don't that I'm not too like locked in on. I don't really know what those are, but it doesn't matter. The cave will be destroyed, and I'm not saying like enlightenment, like true enlightenment will be rediscovered, but I do believe that truth will be rediscovered as this cave is destroyed. And that cave is going to be destroyed no matter if you are contributing to it or you're not. It is just a rule of nature, in my opinion. I do believe that no matter what will happen, this cave will be destroyed. And we're seeing it in today's world right now. Like, literally right now. There's these threats of World War III, right? And I'm not, like, I don't have really like a take on them. I do believe some of it is just excessive fear mongering. I do believe there's truth in that stuff, but I do believe, like, a lot of it will just be pushed, and there's going to be all these different opinions floating around. You're not going to know what's true. And so that's the fear mongering, or that's the manipulation mongering, whatever you want to call it. And so to rebuild this cave, I don't know what this future cave will look like, but I do know that there will be an opportunity to rebuild. And depending on what side you are on, if you are wanting to be enlightened or stay in this darkness, you can choose. The choice is ultimately yours, no matter what time period or what cave you exist in. The choice is yours. And so I know personally, for me, I want to be one of those people who rebuilds the cave. or helps enlighten others. Because, you know, like, I'm still like hesitant on the cave, and like, is it actually a good thing to rebuild, like, the system? But you have to realize that the system has always existed throughout time. And the greats that we look up to, the greats that I personally take inspiration from, were on top of that. They were on top of that system. They were definitely not the the people living in the cave. You know, so all the Stoics, like all the greats that we love to look up to, they escaped the cave. So that just kind of leaves you with this thing of like, okay, well, they were born into the cave, they escaped the cave, and then they also just built their own cave for other people. And yeah, like, I like to believe that each cave is kind of set upon like one maybe fancy word, or one descriptive word to simplify the the focus of the cave. And the focus of our cave is comfort. But people are realizing, you know what, maybe this cave is no longer comfortable. The system is no longer comfortable. You know, I'm gonna go to school. I can't just get a job right after school. I'm gonna have to sit on my ass for 4 or 5 years, sending out hundred job applications every week, and I'm gonna live at home with my parents. I can't find a girlfriend. I can't find a boyfriend. You know, I can't really get married because, okay, well, number one, what's the point if I don't have any money and there's no actual housing available? But number two, like, I can't even find like a loving wife or husband that is set on the right things and has proper morals and ethics, right? So everything is being thrown out the cave. Everything is not even existing in the cave anymore. It is just gone. It is expended. And these pieces of entertainment, they suck. They're not keeping me. Personally, they're not keeping me at bay. And if anything, I find them quite disrespectful. So yeah, as a cave person myself, I mean, obviously the cave is a mental thing. To become enlightened, it doesn't mean you make a shit ton of money as soon as you become enlightened. It is a mental thing, but I do believe it is also a physical thing as well. You know, because if you're in the cave, you're most likely a middle class personnel, or a lower class, or just anything. Um, it's mental, physical. It's whatever you want to be. It's your interpretation. It's a very open allegory to interpret and adapt to the way you want it to. But that is my explanation of the cave and what the cave looks like in today's world. And if you're watching this, hopefully maybe this gave you some insight. And I'm open to hearing different suggestions on what you think is right and what you think is wrong, because that's how we get closer to rebuilding this cave and moving forward as a group. So yes, goodbye.